Hi Camp family, it's Nurse Lily here with Camp Summit at Home. This week we are taking some time to honor and remember all of those who were affected by September 11th. We want you guys to know that you're in our thoughts, and our country as a whole, of course, is in our thoughts. So to get a little bit more patriotic, we wanted to do something red, white, and blue. And so we made red, white, and blue pinwheels. We know that there are a lot of options for making these online that involve brads, but a lot of people don't have brads at home, so we wanted to give you a different option. So for our project, we're using paper, scissors, a hole punch, and then tape or a stapler or glue, some kind of fastener, straws, and pipe cleaners. And if you don't have something, there are lots of substitutions that can be made. Just always make sure that whatever you're using, you're being safe with it. So first, if you have some kind of cardstock or scrapbook paper that's already square, that'll work great for this. It might be a little bit harder to make the pinwheel actually spin at the end because that paper is a little bit bigger and heavier, but it'll still work out okay. And if you're using this, if you're making this pinwheel as a decoration, then the bigger paper is great. It's definitely the way to go. If you don't have bigger paper that's already square, you only have printer paper, that's fine too. That'll work out great too. This was just a regular sheet of printer paper, the rectangle, that it usually is. So to make a square out of this, which is what you need, a square shape, fold one corner up so that the bottom of the paper lines up nicely with the side of the paper. You'll make basically a triangle shape out of it. And then the part that is not a part of those triangles, that extra little rectangle, you can fold that and then cut it off, okay, to make yourself a square. So once you have your square piece of paper, whatever you use as your paper, once you have your square, take one corner, fold it across so that you're folding diagonally, and make a nice crease, okay? Flatten that down. Unfold it and fold along the other diagonal and make another nice crease. So when you're done folding, you should have a nice X on your square paper. Then take your scissors and carefully cut from the corner to about halfway or a little past halfway to the center. Don't cut all the way to the center, but cut along the line that you made about halfway to the center from the corner. Then turn it and do that with every corner, okay? So halfway up or a little further than halfway you want to cut. And if you find that you have to cut it a little bit further later once you start folding it down, that's perfectly fine. Of course, you can pull your scissors out and cut it a little further. So then take your hole punch, or if you have to use something else to punch a hole, you can use that. Just, again, be careful, safety first. Take your hole punch and make a hole in the center of your paper, where the center of that X is. If you have to fold the paper over to get a hole, that's perfectly fine. Just try to only make, a half circle if you have the half sheet that you're working with. But make a hole there in the center, and then look at all of your corners and pick one side of the cut, either the left or the right side, to make a hole. So I went with the right side. So on the right side of my cut that I made, on every corner, I have a hole. So not my left side, but my right. And then on here, same thing. Next corner, same thing. And same thing. So pick one side of the cut and stick to it. Then take the holes on the corners and fold them over so that it matches up with the hole in the center. Now, if you're just making this for decoration and you don't need it to spin, that's perfectly fine. Don't worry so much about if it's lined up, okay? If you want it to spin, then make sure that it's lined up, that the holes are lined up really nicely. So once the holes are lined up, you'll take some tape, put the tape down, fasten it every corner just like that. Again, if you want it to spin, make sure that the holes are lined up really nicely. And then tape. If you don't have tape, that's fine. You can use glue instead. Just make sure it's dried well so that this sticks together. You could also use a stapler if you can get your stapler in there. But you want it to basically look like there's just one hole. After you've gotten your hole, take a pipe cleaner or a brad if you'd rather use a brad and you have brads, then you can do brads. Twist your pipe cleaner at the end that's facing the outside of the pinwheel so that it doesn't just spin right off the pipe cleaner. And then use the long end of your pipe cleaner to either go into your straw or around your straw, however you want to get those two things together. I've tried lots of different ways here. You can see these examples. With my bigger pinwheels, I've also put beads on them to help them give more support to spin a little bit better. But again, if you're not worried about it spinning, then you can just fasten this on however you want and it'll look like a cute decoration. If you want it to spin though, then try to get it nicely around or into the straw. And there you have it, you got your pinwheel. Take it outside, put it in front of a fan, blow on it inside, however you like to make it spin. I hope you guys enjoyed this and I hope you have a great rest of your week. Bye.